Hi, my name is Dante Carver. I'm portraying the character DC in the Resident Evil Vendetta movie.
Let's start by talking about your background when it comes to the Resident Evil video games. What's a favorite memory you can share with us from playing those games?
My favorite recent memory is actually the VR, because I just finished it about a month ago and it was trippy. I wished it was a little bit longer, but I'm actually kind of glad it's short like it is now that I'm thinking back, because I spent many hours in that headset. But recent memory, I'd definitely say the VR. The experience itself was pretty interesting, and it felt like the first Resident Evil game, so I like that. It was old school scary again, as opposed to the usual, smash and grab kind of thing. So I enjoyed it a lot.
What are your thoughts in general? Because the Resident Evil franchise on the video game side has really gone all over the place over the years.
Yes, it has. I actually like that as well, because sometimes if you do the same thing too much and too long, it gets kind of stale. So branching out, doing and trying different things is also good, because you get new fans. But series-wise, I'm kind of torn. I like the old school way of doing it, so it's kind of like a moving comic book, so to speak. But then I also like the action aspect of it. So I'm torn, to be honest.
What do you think it is about this franchise that has allowed it to succeed across so many video games, but also in live-action movies and in CGI?
Outside of the fantastic cast that they usually bring to the projects, whether it be CG movies, live action, or the video game, I think the aspect of zombies, the sci-fi aspect of it, because you never know what to expect. And then for those who are fans from the beginning, you kind of look forward to, okay, well, what are they going to do now with the next beast or the next animal? Having a dog's head kind of, sorry for people watching, open up into multiple places is kind of creepy, but it's also kind of cool because that's someone's artistic idea that's been brought to life. So from art and concept up to watching it happen in front of you, I think is what gets people the most. At least that's what gets me. I like not knowing what to expect.
And when you look more specifically, a lot of people have adapted video games to films, and not a lot of them have succeeded. Why do you think Resident Evil has been the exception to that rule?
I think because of the world that it rests in, because you're dealing with, biohazardous materials, and I'm laughing like that because it's called biohazard in Japan, and I'm so used to hearing it, I have to stop and rethink it. Resident Evil, biohazard. You're dealing with things that could easily be explained and things that can't be explained mixed together. The universe of the Resident Evil series itself is just so rich and unique. I think that's one reason why they could pretty much do whatever they want to. Where other franchises, they have to stick within a certain parameter.
Well, Capcom did make it easy for Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Yes, they did. Yeah, that was really smooth how they added that in there. Yeah, I like that. That, and game-wise, the way that they've done it so far, you could pretty much go in any direction with the same characters from before, new characters. You can almost retell the same story and just change the points of view. So, which has happened. So it's pretty cool. It's weird and cool at the same time.
We've seen Sony Pictures have 6 successful big screen Resident Evils. I know they've said that's over. What impact do you feel that will have on people that want to consume more Resident Evil with this CG franchise?
I will definitely say that looking at this particular film and the way it's been done, I think that with the live action possibly being over or redirecting, not sure, because it's Hollywood, anything could happen. The way this is done, it kind of fills that void in between. It could go in this direction from here on out, or it could be a placeholder, or, kind of like, how you have Star Wars, you have the episodes and you have the standalones.
Yes.
This is kind of like a standalone that could eventually end up in a series or something of that nature. So there's a lot that could go on, and I like that.
It also seems like a very natural fit, because this is a franchise that was born in CG as a video game.
Yes.
And we're seeing this marriage between what they look like here and what they look like in the games today, getting really close.
You're really close. There's a lot of times where you'll have it too close and they actually have to dumb it down. which is really weird when you see it happen. It's like, wow, that looks really awesome. Yeah, we gotta bring it back a little. It's a little too realistic. It's like, oh, okay. But seeing how it's done in this one, I really enjoyed, because even when we're filming it, we have the head rigs and it's actually recording all of our facial expressions real time, as opposed to having the dots everywhere. We do have those, but it's usually on the body. So taking those two forms of technology and mixing them together, I thought was really, really interesting. And the way it came out is pretty cool, because even I was impressed, and I do this all the time, so watching it is like, that's cool.
And that performance capture is something that we're seeing embraced by both Hollywood and gaming, but gaming seemed to be kind of early into that game.
Yeah.
And now how have you seen that technology improve?
Well, I would say, even looking back at the first CG Resident Evil movie to now, using actual actors to do the motion capture their facial features real time and things, adds more depth to the characters. When you're going through the stories, it actually adds a little bit more depth to the story as well, because it feels more organic. Before, it's like you're using algorithms to kind of allocate where things are going and do what needs to be done, but it's not felt the same. But now it is, and I like that. It feels richer, it feels deeper.
So what can you tell us without doing any spoilers about Vendetta and what's going on in this world?
It's a great movie. No, but it really is good. Outside of bringing characters back from a long time ago to ones that you see going throughout the series, my original character being there, it's a good mix of the old, the new, and the future. So the action is great. The story is actually really good. You actually feel for the characters on both sides, which doesn't usually happen. So I would definitely say check it out. And there's a con exclusive cover that's going on that, do you have one of the ones with Rebecca on it? And I'll show you in a second. Because there's two versions, and the one that's out now actually has, we've got Aaron's character on the back as well, which is what I like about it. It's cool.